That was just unbelievable. I've never seen a kicker taken off his feet with a hit and no call. Maybe they felt like he was pulling kind of a European soccer player play. Quarterback keeps it on that fake. He still loose past the 10, the 20, still on his feet, cuts inside several Aggie defenders before he's finally brought down at the 36-yard line. So the bad field position for Langston, they've been back deep in their own territory twice, and twice they've gotten out in one play.
Well, what they did was they faked it to the running back, and then they handed it off inside to number 1, Glenn Irons, the wide receiver, and everybody bid on the running back play fake, and he was able to get outside and get a lot of yards out of that.
Sometimes you can catch a defense being a little too overly aggressive in those situations where they're trying to pin somebody deep like that. Handoff up the middle, up past the 40-yard line to the 41, so a good first down gain for the Lions.
The Lions showing here why they're a top 10 team. And the Aggies trying to make their case for a top 25 ranking here against Langston.
Second down, 5 yards to go. Shotgun formation again, a back to each side. Man in motion into the formation. Fakes a handoff. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. And he escapes and gets a pass off, so he's got an incomplete pass. How he got away from 3 different Aggies to avoid that sack, that has to be frustrating as a defender.
And as an Aggie fan, I would have rather have seen the sack, but you have to admit that is a beautiful piece of footwork by number 9, Jalen Lowe for the Langston Lions. Got away from about 4 defenders.
It'll be 3rd and 5. Looks like a little confusion on the Langston side again. There's a snap, fakes a handoff, looks to throw. It's going to be knocked down. Running back busts through several plays. That looked like a forward pass, not a fumble. Didn't get an absolute clear view of it, but definitely worked in Langston's favor. It's going to be 4th down, but it's going to be 4th down at about a foot, if at all. They may have a first down here.
Yeah. Feels like they got a really good spot there. And
so they'll bring the chains out for the measurement.
that was unbelievable.
That definitely looked like that was a forward pass on that play. But in the scrum, we may have missed the ball getting knocked out of his hands. Yeah, they're about a foot short. So what could have been 4th and about 5 yards to go now is 4th and a foot. Yep, and it's probably in that territory near the midfield stripe where they're going to go ahead and go for it. They've had enough success on the offensive side of the ball that they're usually going to go for it this short of a distance.
And they have number 44. He's not on our roster, but that is a big bruising back they have there, and there's going to be a penalty.
We've got flags on the field. Somebody jumped one way or the other.
The Aggies are already walking back.
And it is on the Aggies, so they don't even have to work for that first down as the Aggies give them the free 5 yards and the free first down. 6:45 still to play in the first quarter, still no score.
And that's what happens on 4th and inches. The defense gets really antsy, really ready to be aggressive to stop that 4th and inch because they know it's going to be a run, and it's easy to get them off sides there on some occasions.
Man in motion. They'll hand it off, running to the right. Good blocking up ahead. Nice stiff arm. He's inside the 30-yard line, fights off another tackler, and finally pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Nice running there, and the Aggies just had trouble stopping his momentum.
And that was number 28, Marcus McCants, on the receiving end of that stiff arm, and he's a good, solid running back. Has the speed to get to the outside, but also the strength to move through tacklers.
And quite a bit bigger than McCants.
Oh, absolutely.
Receiver in motion again. And they'll run the same play, basically, just running the other way to the wide side. Not quite as many yards this time as a big hit by Leadhead there.
And that just shows you the hustle by Leithhead, because he was around on the back end of the play trying to chase it down, and he ends up being the first man there.
Injured Aggie on the field. Looks like number 37, Terrell Fallon, has an injury on the field. So 5:49 still to play in the first quarter. Still no score.
Let's hear it for that young man.
And Fallon on his feet. A little bit of an assist coming off, but good to see he's able to, for the most part, make it off the field on his own, under his own power. It's going to be second down and about 4 yards to go from the 12-yard line for Langston.
Here we get a chance to see the Aggies' red zone defense.
Receiver in motion once again. There's the snap. He'll drop back to pass. Throw over the middle, wide open. Breaks through 2 tackles, still fighting forward. He's going to be near the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown. So Langston strikes first with a 12-yard touchdown pass to take the early lead over the Aggies. Langston lines up for the extra point. There's a good snap, hold, and kick. And the Lions now lead the Aggies 7-0 with 5:31 left to play in the first quarter.
Back to return for your Aggies, number 22, Orlando Heyman.
So Aggies ready to receive the kickoff. Back deep for the Aggies, number 22, Orlando Heyman. Just slipped my mind there for a second. I wanted to call him Ogman, but Ogman is number 3, so. Here's the approach and the kick. It's a high, short kick. That's going to be picked up by Nick West at the 25, up to the 30. And he's going to be stopped near there. So that's where the Aggies will take over, 1st and 10.
What's been interesting for the Aggies all year is both the quarterback and the running back rotation on offense. The position hasn't really been settled all year, so we've got to see different looks from different parts of the team all year.
Yeah, at all the skill positions, the Aggies haven't had any one particular that stands out that's, leading the team in catches by a bunch or rushing yards or passing yards by that matter. The steady part of it has been the offensive line. Ramon under center, he'll throw it out in the flat, and it's just too far out in front for Hezekiah Foy.
Ramon's pass intended for number 45, Hezekiah Foy.
That'll make it 2nd and 10. He was open out there, just threw it too far.
He tried to get it high to get over. I think it was the defensive end coming in trying to jump up and bat it, and so he had to put it a little high because he saw the jump coming, and it ends up being too high for Foy as well.
So 2 backs in the backfield with Ramon. They'll hand it off up to the 30 to Baker. Bust off a tackle past the 40-yard line before he's knocked out. He's going to be near a 1st down. Nice, tough running there by Baker. And he's a very compact running back.
Oh, absolutely. He's sitting here. Let's look at this. 5'9", 225. That's going to be a load to bring down on those occasions, especially when he gets some momentum running outside around the end.
That's a lot of weight packed in only a 5'9" frame. So Aggies were with Ramon back under center. Baker in the single back set behind him. Barbarino in motion across the formation. They'll hand it off to Baker to the right. He's up to the midfield stripe. That's going to be an Aggie 1st down.
8-yard run by number 25, Preston Baker.
And if you're Langston, you probably knew it was coming, but the blocking by that offensive line just really sets up that hole for Preston Baker to get through. Baker finishes it off, lowers his shoulders, gets some extra yards. And if they keep running like this, they'll be able to control the clock as well as the time of possession.
Trips formation to the left, one to the right. They'll look to the sideline for the call. I do see at the top of the formation, Nick Kinetic. It's good to see him back in uniform. He's been out with an injury. Handoff up the middle again to Baker. He's not going to make too much. He does enter into Langston territory to about the 48, 47-yard line. Picks up a couple on the play, so it'll be second down and 8 yards to go.
And really, that's a good effort by Baker because it looked like he was stuffed at the line and then just keeps fighting forward for a couple of yards.
Ramon rolls out to his left, lets it go to West. West catches it, but only really for about another 2-yard gain as they'll mark him down at the 46-yard line. So it'll make it third down, 6 yards to go. Now trips to the right, one to the boundary side. Handoff to Baker. And he's undercut by one of the linebackers, maybe a yard short of the first down. Aggies have a decision here whether they're going to go for it or punt.
4-yard gain by number 25, Preston Baker.
And I don't see Jacob Test.
It looks like they're going to go for it here. Fourth and actually a couple of yards to go. They've got to get to the 40-yard line.
Let's hear it for your Aggies.
So
They're going to have Ramon lined up under center this time.
they'll look back to the sideline for the play call. They may be trying to draw him off as well here. Play clock is running down. He does snap it. Hand off to Baker. He gets to the 40. He's got the first down. Reaches ahead to about the 37. Aggie first down as they're moving the ball on this drive, and they're doing it the way they want to do it. Hand it off between the tackles to the tailback.
And that was really pretty to watch by Baker. He did kind of like a little Le'Veon Bell move. He was patient, waited for the hole to open, and then forced it through once he saw an opening.
Heyman into the game. They'll hand it off to him up the middle, inside the 35-yard line to the 33.
4-yard run by number 22.
So a good 4-yard gain on first down. So second down, 6 yards to go. Ramon rolls out to his right quickly. Thrown, it's caught.
Beautiful.
Still on his feet and knocked out of bounds near the 20-yard line. That's Miguel Hudson with the catch. That's going to be enough for another Aggie first down.
And you saw Hudson just barely able to get off his defender. Ramon seen it, put the ball on him, and then Hudson able to shake the tackle, get the yards needed for a first down, and get out of bounds.
12 men on, that penalty decline. Result of the play, first down, Panhandle.
And the Aggies did it with Langston having 12 men on the field. They declined that penalty. They'll take the first down they earned anyway.
Reminds me of that Jeremy Macklin touchdown for the Ravens the other day. Also did it with 12 men on the field.
Heyman in motion. They'll throw it to him out in the flats. Good blocks by the receivers. Trying to find an opening. He'll be pushed out after just a short gain. Got maybe a yard or two on the play. Second down, 8 yards to go.
And I think Coach Gaskamp really likes Heyman because of his receiving ability, his speed, and his combination that he can put in a power run every now and then.
Yeah, he's much more of a scat back than Baker, that's for sure. So pistol formation. There's a handoff to Heyman. There's a hole up the middle. We do have a flag on the play. That's usually in the area of holding. Or it might have been an offsides penalty. We'll have to wait and see. Looked like if Heyman wouldn't have slipped there, he could have had a big play on that one.
Number 74, 10 yards.
And it was a hold. Matthew Grants, the guard, senior guard in there. So they'll move the Aggies back 10 yards. That puts the ball on the 32-yard line. It's
Still not just an awful situation here. You're in Langston territory. It's only second down.
Under a minute left to play in this first quarter. Handoff up the middle. Gains maybe 2 yards up to the 30-yard line. That was Baker on that carry.
And I was thinking they should go conservative there. I think a run might have been a little too conservative, but I understand they're not wanting to turn the ball over or anything like that. Just get close to this field goal if they can get it.
Pistol formation. Ramon drops back to pass. Under pressure, lets it go out wide. Takes a while to get there. It is caught. Still trying to wrangle down. Dives down just in time before that Langston defensive back reached him and blew him up there.
Braylon Chandler, I believe it was, number 83. He went pretty high for that one.
Yes, he did. Good catch. Braylon, just a sophomore, 5'9", 155-pounder. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. So we head to the second quarter with the OPSU Aggies trailing the Langston Lions 8-0.
By Coach Kelsey Dickerson.
So to start this second quarter, it appears the Aggies will attempt a field goal. It's going to be looks like a 39-yarder. There's the snap, the hold, the kick. It's on its way, and it's going to be wide. No good.
And what I noticed, there's a flag.
I'll have to see what the flag is here.
A little bit
May have been
extra.
after the play, though.
But what I noticed is they brought out Cesar Tellez when they were going to kick with the wind and Sterling Clappin when the quarter ended and they were going to have to kick against the wind.
To the play. Red ball. Conduct. Penn State, number 52. 15-yard penalty. First down Langston.
An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Aggies.
Mason Williams.
Number
Said
52, Mason Williams, one of the linemen for the Aggies on that extra point attempt, is going to give Langston fantastic field position
You
to
can't
start this drive.
have those kind of mistakes. Those will kill you.
So the Aggie defense back out on the field needing a stop. Langston starting at their own 37-yard line. Drop back to pass, throws it out in the flat to his running back, and he's going to be blown up by McCants for a loss. Just a fantastic play there by McCants.
Excellent open field tackle. And number 1, Glenn Irons, he is a shifty receiver, so he didn't see McCants coming at him, but McCants breaks down, makes sure he makes the tackle, and makes a hard tackle.
Really read the play well, so it's going to be second down and 12 yards to go.
Irons will be looking for McCants next time he has the ball.
Man in motion out of the backfield. They'll drop back to pass again. Under pressure, avoids the sack. He still breaks through at the 50. He's up to the 40, the 30, and finally steps out of bounds. They'll mark him down right at the 20-yard line. So just like that, on one quarterback scramble, Langston is in scoring position again.
And Jalen Lowe, he looks like he's about faster than half of his receivers out there.
So Langston will overload to the left side of the formation. Handoff. He'll run back that way. He's going to be stopped for a loss. Just a ton of Aggies there on the tackle.
Flag on the play.
Brought down by Zachary Perez-Clark.
False start.
It was a false start. Aggies will say, well, can we take the penalty and the result of the play on that one? Is I'll go ahead and take that penalty. It'll still be first down, though. They'll make it. No, and Coach Gaskamp has said no, they're going to decline that. They're going to make it second down and 10 yards to go.
And it's a hard decision to make there. Do you want to make it, you know, first
Actually,
and long or second and 10?
They'll move it back a yard. It'll be second down and 11. There's a snap, drops back to pass, lets it go on the slant pattern through his receiver's hands. McCants with good coverage there. Late flag. Oh, my goodness. 3 seconds after the play was over, they throw the flag. Yeah, most likely that's going to go against the Aggies here. And it is pass interference there.
That's a really late flag to come in for pass interference.
And it looks like they called that on McCants, so that's going to give Langston a first and goal from about the 9-yard line.
Now, see, what I saw was Michael Andrade for the Lions try to dive for the ball, but I guess they said McCants knocked him down.
There's a snap. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper on the read option back to the left. He's down to about the 5-yard line. Leadhead in on the tackle there.
Tackle on the play made by number 59, Nathan Leadhead.
Also number 7, Dante Shipman was there as well. So second down and goal from a 5-yard line. And line up with a back to each side, man in motion. Hand it off, and they'll try to overload going to the wide side of the field. He may lift it off his feet, did gain a couple of yards. They'll mark him down at about the 2-yard line. Langston quickly to the line. As you can see, they're trying to hurry up and line up quickly. Now they'll back out and look for the play call.
Let's get rowdy.
Quarterback will just try to keep it. No push. And the Aggies stopped them there. It's going to be fourth down from the 3-yard line.
And you wonder if they're going to try to go for it or take the points here.
Aggies do have an injured player on the field. So we'll take a injury timeout with 11:56 left to play in the first half. It's Langston 7, Panhandle 0. That was Cameron Lyons, who was able to jog off under his own power, so that's good to see. Probably just got shook up a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be back in the game soon. So big play for the Aggies here. Fourth and goal from the 3-yard line, and we've got a timeout on the field as Langston uses their final timeout of the first half. So here we go out of the timeout. Once again, the situation, 4th and goal for Langston from the 3-yard line. Aggies just stuffed them on 3rd down. This time they're going to line up in a shotgun formation. Man in motion across the formation. They'll run the running back behind that blocker, and they're in for the touchdown. The Lions extend their lead to 2 scores on the Aggies.
And the Aggies had hands on him behind the line, just couldn't quite bring him down. And
well, once again, as number 44, you're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle, so you're going to have to get a shoulder and 2 arms wrapped around him to get him down.
we need to find out who this guy is. He's nowhere. Not on the 2 deep, not on the numeric roster.
Langston lined up for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick. It's good. So Langston, with 11:32 left to play in the first half, takes a 14-0 lead over the Aggies. Orlando Heyman once again back deep for the Aggies to return the kick.
Number 22, Orlando Heyman back to receive the kick.
And here's the kick. It's a high, short kick, going to be picked up by one of the upmen. That's Hudson with it. He's past the 30-yard line. He'll be down at the 31, 32-yard line. It's where the Aggies will have it 1st and 10.
I can see Jawan Purifoy over here before the kickoff giving a pep talk to the defense, trying to get them fired up here, saying let's not give up any more points, especially before the half here.
Well, right now it's the Aggies offense on the field, and they need to do something here. Down already 2 touchdowns. Pistol formation. Baker in the backfield with Ramon. They'll hand it off. He's up through the middle past the 35 and near the 40-yard line down at the 39. So a good first down play, as that's going to make it 2nd down and about 3 yards to go.
It didn't look like the clock was running. It was at 11:27 all through the course of the play.
Ramon takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw. Has to scramble out to his right. Just has to let that one go towards the sideline just to avoid the sack. That one bounced all the way into the stands.
Think they're keeping that, or you think they got to give it back? Oh,
I think they've got to give it back. So
Too bad. That would have been a good souvenir for a lucky fan.
3rd and short for the Aggies now. This is going to be a very important down. They need this first down. They don't need their defense to go right back out on the field after just giving up 2nd consecutive touchdown drive. Barbarino in motion. Ramon turns, hands off to Baker. He's going to be tripped up. He's going to be short of it. He's at the 41.
2-yard run.
We'll have to see what the Aggies do here.
Baker.
They're going to be about a yard or so short.
And they give him a bit of a rough spot there.
And they are going to measure.
And this one doesn't look like it's going to be overly close. From my angle, my angle's a little skewed, but very close actually.
And Aggies needing less than a yard for the first down. Already trailing by 2 touchdowns. I think they feel like they probably need to go for it here. And they will. Ramon looks like he's going to line up under center. This is a formation they used last week where they'll have Baker at fullback and Heyman at tailback. They'll look to the sideline. They're overloaded with receivers over here to the right. They'll hand it off to the fullback, Baker, and he's got enough for the first down. Not much more, but he's got enough.
25, Preston Baker.
Enough is all you need.
Good for another Aggie. First down.
So 1st and 10 for the Aggies.
And I think that gives a big boost to the offense right there, you know. Anytime you go for it on 4th down and you get it, then that's a big lift.
It's a big boost to the defense as well, that they don't have to head out there after a 4 and out. Heyman with the handoff. Still loose. And he fights his way just to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 as Langston was able to get good penetration across the line on that play. Ramon drops back to pass. He'll let it go. That's going to be too high. It's intercepted near the 40. And he's going to be brought down at the Aggie 45-yard line as Ramon has thrown his 2nd interception. Both of them were pretty ugly as well. They both were right to a defender. Didn't look like a receiver was even really that close to that play. So the Aggie defense back out on the field. 9.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Already trailing by 2 touchdowns. Aggies needing a big play here, needing a turnover. There's a snap. Looks like they're going to run a reverse. Wide open. He was wanting to throw, but he's going to get the first down, still on his feet. And he's out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So just like that, one play, Langston already in the red zone.
And you can tell Langston has a lot of athletes, but what they mix that with is a significant amount of trickery. And that reverse definitely an example of that. So when you have some stellar athletes combined with some trick plays, that's going to set you up for big gains like that. That's hard to defend against.
So 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. They'll hand it off, running to the wide side. And we got a flag on the play. He's going to get to the end zone for the touchdown, but I think this one's coming back.
Looked like David Smith was held pretty good. He threw his hand up trying to let the referee know.
And it is indeed a holding call. So instead of Langston scoring their 3rd touchdown, it's going to be still 1st down, but 1st down and 20 yards to go as they'll mark the ball at the 28-yard line. There's a snap, drops back to pass, throws it out in the flat. Met quickly, still being drug around and drilled to the ground there. Good job over there by the Aggie defense.
Yeah, good job by the defender to hold on.
Zachary Perez Clapp.
Zachary Perez Black was the one who came in and cleaned that one up, got a good lick on the receiver. 2nd down, 15 yards to go. And I think the quarterback's going to make enough yards that he avoids the sack. But it's going to be no gain, so it's going to be 3rd and long. 3rd and about 20 yards to go here.
It's a good situation for the Aggie defense, but if you're Langston, you have to be proud of the way your quarterbacks run today. Took about 5 or 6 defenders to finally get his momentum stopped there, even though he didn't have that much momentum taken off.
It's also going to be very important that the Aggies, put several good plays together, because that's the problem is they'll get 2 good plays, but then a long play, they're going to run the reverse again. He's open. He's going to try to throw back and receive. Running back's wide open at the 10, catches it, and bowls his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And once again, the Lions have struck for the 3rd time today into the end zone.
It was the same play they ran a minute ago, but instead of the receiver taking off with it this time, he had a chance to throw it. He drops back, he throws it, and is able to put it out there to the still unidentified number 44. And
Langston making sure they got everybody out there for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick. It's good. And with 7:13 left to play in the first half, the Aggies have fallen behind by 3 touchdowns, 21-0. It will once again be Orlando Heyman back deep for the Aggies. The receivers Nick West and Miguel Hudson are the up men. And this is a bounding kick. It's going to bounce high, picked up by Hudson at the 30 up to the 35 and brought down near the 40, and we've got more yellow flags on the field.
Been a lot of those today.
Number 35.
And it's a chop block. That's going to move the Aggies from that good field position near the 40-yard line all the way back inside the 25-yard line.
DJ Scott in at quarterback now after Brandon Ramon throws those 2 interceptions. And I was wondering if they were going to make a change here after that second interception. They were down 2 touchdowns. Now they're down 3.
DJ Scott was the starting quarterback on opening night. And quick throw outside. It is caught near the 30-yard line. That was Nate Knittig with the catch for a short gain of about 5 yards on the play. Make that probably 4, so second down, 6 yards to go. Knittig, a local kid from Texhoma, Oklahoma. Just 10 miles down the road. Snap to Scott, handoff to Baker to the right. He's up to the 30-yard line and up to the 33. Everybody's screaming for the horse collar tackle even though he wasn't tackled, so
4-yard gain on the play by number 25, Preston Baker.
third down and about 1.5 yards for the Aggies.
I remember back when I would watch, high school and college football as a fan. I thought every hit was a horse collar. So
Single back set. Scott will look to the sideline for the call. He'll turn, hand off to Baker, straight up the middle. He's going to be hit and knocked down hard, just shy of the 35-yard line. That may or may not be enough. They may have to bring the chains out once again. Aggies already bringing their punt team on. So it's going to be short. 4th down. Aggies forced to punt again. Once again, Jacob Test out there to handle the punting duties. Spread punt formation. We've got a flag on the 5-yard penalty on the Aggies.
Coach Gaskamp's pretty upset about that one.
Not happy with his team's play today. And really for good reason. There's the snap. Test gets off the kick. Hits it about the 40-yard line and rolls a little bit further down at the Langston 38-yard line. And that's where the Lions will take back over. 4:55 still left to play in the half. Panhandle trailing 21-0. Langston offense sending a player off late in the play. Ball's bobble as the snap came up. Quarterback able to grab it, though. Lets it go deep. He's got a man down there, but it's going to be too wide as the ball lands out of bounds. So,
showcasing a bit of arm strength there.
yeah, that was quite a throw. And what looked like could have been a disastrous play for Langston almost turned into a big gainer for them. But it'll be 2nd and 10 instead. The Aggies and their fans were holding their breath on that throw.
That one hung up there for a while.
Man in motion across the formation. Fakes the handoff. He'll roll out to his right. Hits the man that was in motion. He dives inside one tackler. But several other Aggies there to get him after maybe a 2-yard gain on the play.
Looks like they're going to call.
Juwan Purifoy was their first one there. And looks like it's going to be a penalty, though, on Langston.
I seen him put up the holding call a second ago.
And it is holding on Langston.
And one thing you can say about the Aggie defense is, as this game goes on, they're getting better at recognizing the play fakes. Langston's used a lot of them, so just merely by seeing them in that volume, start to recognize them more, and it gets easier to diagnose a play fake as compared to an actual run.
Shotgun formation again. He'll bring another receiver in motion. Drops back to pass, lets it go. Ball off his receiver's hands and incomplete, so that'll make it 3rd down and 20 yards to go.
And the Aggies, they like this situation. 3rd down and 20 yards to go. Just got to hold them here. They've been able to get some big chunk plays throughout this game, and you can't allow one right here.
Let's see if they bring the pressure. Quick throw outside. Ball floated out there because they were able to get in there. That was number 61 again. Zach Clack getting his hand hit the arm, throwing hand of Langston's quarterback, and that one was floating out there. It's too bad there wasn't an Aggie defender there to take that one to the house for a pick 6. So once again, back deep for the Aggies. Nick Shields to return the punt. He'll line up about the Aggies' 40-yard line. So Aggies should get good field position out of this. Ball snapped high, able to bring it down. Just gets it off in time. It's caught up to the 35, and going to be brought down at about the 38-yard line. That's where the Aggies will take over 1st and 10 with 4:03 still left to play in this first half. They need to go get a touchdown here and at least get within 2 scores before the half.
DJ Scott once again coming back out. They liked what he did on the last drive. Took care of the ball. Couldn't quite get it past the markers, but they believe in what he can do for this team.
Heyman in motion. They'll throw it out to him in the flats quickly. Drop that one. Looking ahead when he should have been worried about catching the ball. You've got to make sure you secure it before you head up the field. So 2nd and 10 for the Aggies. Does happen to the best of those backs. Happens to backs, it seems like, quite a bit, because they're looking ahead a little bit to see if anybody's coming to hit them on that play, and also looking for a hole which they can run through. Scott drops back to pass, throws it out into the flat. It's caught. We've got another flag on the field, and going to be stopped at about the 44-yard line. That was Darren James on the catch, but this one looks like it's probably coming back as well.
You have to think that's holding.
Just too many flags.
Oh!
And it is the one call that can go on the defense in that situation. Hands to the face. So that's going to help the Aggies out. They're going to move is that they'll get the result of the play and that penalty added on. So that'll move them into Langston territory up to the 42-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 there.
And let's see if this gives new quarterback DJ Scott a boost here, you know. Gives him a little confidence. You got a little bit of field to work with. And you know you got that running game to lean on a little bit if you need to.
Scott takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Heyman, looking to throw. He's going to have to tuck it, avoids one defender, and it looks like he's going to be brought down for a sack as he tries to fight his way back towards the line of scrimmage. Loss of about a yard on the play. Actually, he lost about 4 on that play, so it'll be 2nd down,
Ooh.
about 14 yards to go. Looked like he made it up a little further than that, but
They called his forward progress way back there, I guess. Ooh.
Scott fakes the handoff. He'll roll out to his right, has to dive back inside under pressure. He'll have to scramble up past the 40. He's going to have enough for the 1st down as he goes out of bounds near the 30-yard line. So good scrambling there by Scott.
And all day we've witnessed the athleticism of Langston quarterback Jalen Lowe, but what people forget is DJ Scott's an incredibly athletic quarterback himself. That might be the strength of his game is the run.
So pistol formation. Scott drops back to pass again. Ball knocked out of his hand. It's on the ground. Scott able to fall on it. So Aggies maintain possession. That's going to be a big loss all the way back to about the 39-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 20 yards to go. It's a great play there by some of the Langston defenders on the pass rush.
Number 80, Cooper Savage checking in on the wide outside.
Just over 2 minutes left in this first half. Scott hands it off to Heyman. He's going to have to back up. Still goes up to the 35. Still on his feet. Up to the 30. And a nice gain to at least give the Aggies a chance here on 3rd down.
What a beautiful bit of hard running by Orlando Heyman. You said earlier, he is indeed their scat back, but he possesses plenty of power for that run game too as Ogman comes in to replace him now as he's probably a bit tired.
So 3rd down, 8 yards to go. They'll look to the sideline for the play call.
And Ogman, another one of those great downhill runners that the Aggies like to utilize.
Scott drops back to pass. He'll let one go over towards the sideline to Kittig. And he gets the flag call. It's going to be a pass interference. That's going to keep the Aggie drive alive as well. Tried to get the ball to Kittig, but it was knocked away. But a little bit of defensive holding to help make that happen. So they'll mark off 10 yards. That one comes with an automatic 1st down, even though they would have had it with a 10-yard mark off anyway. So 1st and 10, just inside the 20-yard line. Minute 16 still left to play. Ogman will move to the right of Scott. Scott with the quick throw outside. Caught. And brought down after just a couple of yards.
Pass complete number 13.
And that's Cameron Taylor. DJ Scott likes to go to him in clutch situations. You could almost think of him as Scott's check down receiver in a sense, but not necessarily in that position.
2nd down and 7. Scott rolls out to his left, throws it out to Ogman off his hands. No good. Threw that one a little behind him. Made it a tough catch. Wasn't going to be able to get up the field the way he wanted to. You've got to be really accurate on that throw where you're leading your running back ahead to where he's getting a little bit of a head of steam. So it's going to be 3rd down and 7 yards for the Aggies. Under a minute to play, 49 seconds on the clock. Aggies really needed to get some points on the board. Scott drops back to pass again. Head to the corner of the end zone and off his hands. Hudson
Close.
looked like he had that one. Not sure if the defender was able to get his hands in there and knock it away. That was a nice pass, but it falls incomplete. So it's going to be 4th down, and looks like the Aggie offense will stay out there on the field.
And number 22, Orlando Heyman, he kind of did a fake block screen type play and no one around him.
And we've got a flag on the field.
It looks like it's going against Langston, judging by the reaction of their defensive backs.
Now, delay game. Defense, he called timeout. They were out of timeout. 5 yards.
So a delay of game called on Langston as they called a timeout when they've already used all 3. So that'll give the Aggies a free 5 yards, and that's crucial because that makes it now 4th down and only 2 yards to go.
Instead of 4th down and 8.
A much more makeable play.
And I want to see if Scott tries to go to Taylor here.
Some off coverage on the inside receiver, although they do move a linebacker out in that position too. Scott looking back to his right, lets it go. It's caught. First down. Still on his feet, near the 5 yard line, near the goal line.
Oh.
And the Aggies call a timeout with 35 seconds left to play in the first half. They'll have it 1st and goal.
Only looked like he dove across the line, but I guess they just had his forward progress stop before that. But it looked to me like Taylor dove across the goal line unless his knee touched down right outside, and that's how they're calling it. But Scott likes to go to Cameron Taylor in those sort of situations, in those red zone goal line situations, and it worked for him there.
Oh, out of the timeout. Aggies back out on the field. 1st and goal from the 3 yard line. 35 seconds left to play in this first half. They're already trailing 21-0, trying to cut into that lead. Scott lines up under center. Heyman fumbles the ball. It's on the ground. Langston gets the recovery.
Goodness gracious. Had a perfect situation, 1st and goal, and Heyman cannot handle the handoff, and
It's a costly turnover for the Aggies. As they had 4 last week, they've already got 3 in the first half of this one. And especially when you're playing a good opponent, that's gonna prove to be too costly, continuing to have turnovers. Especially one like that was unforced.
right at the goal line,
we'll
too.
see what Langston does with 31 seconds left to play. Now line up in the shotgun, handoff right up the middle. And brought down quickly. They'll probably just let the clock run out on this first half. And that will be the final play of the first half. So we head to the locker room with the Aggies in trouble, trailing the Langston Lions 21-0. Second half of play. Aggies trailing 21-0. They will receive the kickoff, so they're going to have an opportunity to try to get back in this one right away. They'll send Orlando Heyman back again, once again.
Back to return for your Aggies.
To receive
Number 22, Orlando Heyman.
All right. Aggies come out on offense. Let's see what they can do here. Get a little more going than they got in the first half. Got blanked in the first half. We're looking to put points up early here to stay in this.
Dominated really for the most part too. Of course, they were helped along with having several, just 3 turnovers I think it was, and just several just bad penalties caught by the up men. That's West. He's going to be tackled after just a short gain. Ball may be loose.
Had a little trouble holding on to it once the contact was made there.
All the Langston players pointing it's their ball. We'll wait till the referee comes out and says it is. They're still discussing it, and it is the 4th Aggie turnover on of the game on the opening kickoff of the second half already. That means Langston's going to take over 1st and 10 near the Aggies 30, just outside the 30-yard line, already leading 21-0. So what was a disastrous first half turns into another disaster to start this second half. Man in motion out of the formation. No trips to the right. There's a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He had that design draw play. Quarterback wide open hole. Still on his feet. He's going to the end zone for the touchdown. So just like that, 16 seconds into the second half, and Langston has already added another touchdown to their lead.
And that's rough for the Aggies. They had already more than doubled the Aggies' amount in rushing yards for the first half, and that number's going to get even more skewed right now.
Langston, his prayers towards good qualification.
Langston with 217 yards of total offense compared to just 85 yards of total offense from the Aggies.
Langston will line up for the extra point. There's the snap, the hold, the kick, it's blocked. Picked up by a Langston player. He'll be dragged down from there. So
extra point is blocked by number 58, David
left
Smith.
to play in the third quarter. Langston has extended their lead and now lead the Panhandle State Aggies 27-0.
One of the keys to this game, the Aggies have not forced a turnover yet.
Back to return the kick for your Aggies, number 22, Orlando Haven.
Orlando Heyman lines up again to receive the kick. Nick West, Miguel Hudson are his up men. West was the one who had fumbled that last kickoff return.
The Aggies need something big here.
There was an unsportsmanlike penalty on Langston on that touchdown, so they'll be kicking off from the 20-yard line, as that'll be a 15-yard penalty. So Heyman will line up at his own 25-yard line. Here's the approach and the kick. That one's going to go out of bounds, so the Aggies are going to start out near midfield on that one.
That's a gift.
Looks like Coach Gaskamp is saying, make him re-kick it. He wants a big return out of this one. Needs a big play here, so you can understand already trailing 27-0.
And I can understand why you would do that with them backed up like this, but I think I would, at this point, especially with Nick West having a little trouble on the last kickoff, I would take the yards. And really now they're kicking from the shadow of their own end zone.
Well, this time they'll kick off from the 15-yard line. Ball blows off the tee. We'll let him try to reset it one more time. Blows off again. They'll make him have a holder.
And this panhandle wind, it causes problems for everybody.
And it looks like they'll bring one of their players up to do the holding duties.
Alrighty. Coming up to put a boot on it here.
Here's the approach and the kick. High, short kick.
Yeah.
And a fair catch called. That's going to be a 15-yarder. They're going to move that one up even further. He caught that at about the 36, 37-yard line. And that means they're going to move about 15 yards further up. So
On
if
the
the
return for
Aggies
85,
ever were
Seth
given an
Barbarino.
opportunity, it's going to be on this drive to get back into it.
And I questioned the decision by Russell Gaskamp, but apparently he knew exactly what he was doing. It works out more than perfectly. So, good situation for the Aggies coming out here on offense. DJ Scott, he's been fairly productive today as compared to Brandon Ramon, so let's see what he can get going here. And look for them to lean on the run early here with Preston Baker, especially this close to the goal line, because they know, if nothing else, they have points in the field goal as they're now kicking with the wind.
So 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line for the Aggies. Heyman on the field at the tailback position. Scott drops back, fakes the handoff. He's looking towards the end zone, lets it go, and it's going to be intercepted near the goal line, up past the 20-yard line. And Barbarino pushes him out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So just like that, two plays, the opening kickoff, and then their first offensive possession after that kickoff, both turnovers, as the second half has turned out worse than the first so far for the Aggies.
There's 5 total turnovers now in the game.
14:31 still left to play in this third quarter. Aggies already trailing 27-0. Not sure why Scott threw that one. It was triple coverage all around him there. Ball on the ground. Grabbed it quickly, handed off to his running back. He's up to the 25, the 35, 40, and up to the 45. That's going to be enough for a first down.
That was number 7 at running back. Don't have him on the roster.
Another one with the name. That's odd that they'd have two guys, all those numbers mentioned, and two guys that played that handled the ball quite a bit that they don't even have on the roster. So
I can't see what it says. A different number on his helmet over there. I can't tell. It says a
man in
different
motion
number.
across the formation, fakes the handoff, and he's going to be drugged down, but gets rid of the pass just in time. That was Dominic Bell who busted through on that play.
Lowe's pass incomplete intended for number 88, Michael.
That'll make
Humphrey.
it 2nd down and 10. Charles Stone, the 6'3", 260-pound senior defensive end, was also back there to help out.
And number 7, it looks like he's wearing number 5 as a helmet, but James Cox is listed as a linebacker on our roster. So
They'll fake the handoff, quick throw on the slant. He's into Aggie territory near the 45, also near a first down.
Lowe's pass complete.
and that's Michael Andrade, the wide receiver, and that is a hard matchup. He stands at 6'4" according to the roster, and straight out of New Orleans, Louisiana. That's a hard man to defend when someone's that tall.
So 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. There's a snap, fakes a handoff, rolls out to his left, looking to throw deep. Almost intercepted as McCants came across. Got his hands on the ball. Great play. 2 flags on the field. That's in the area that a lot of times you're going to find pass interference or defensive holding. We'll have to see what the call is. As both flags, looks like they may be being picked up. No, it is defensive holding on the Aggies. That's going to be an automatic 1st down. 10-yard mark off. So the Langston drive continues. 13:21 still to play, 3rd quarter.
All right, so let's see if the Aggie defense can toughen up here. And they really got to hold tight here. They're back in their own territory. And
little mix up in the backfield. Quarterback throws it out. That one's a live ball. He's going to be tackled for a big loss. Nate Leadhead on the tackle.
Big
Back
loss in the play.
and another
Tackled
flag.
by
At the 47, we've got a flag on the field
Nathan
and an injured Langston player on the field as well.
And that's going to be Jalen Lowe, the quarterback. I don't know. I didn't see where he got hit, but I was focused more on the back end of the play there. That's a pass he never should have thrown.
And a penalty going to be marked off on Langston here, a big one. Dead ball, personal foul will bring it inside Langston's own 40-yard line.
It's a bit of a gift here for the Aggie defense. It looks like, is it 3rd down and 10? Well, I mean, 3rd down a lot longer than that now. 3rd and 37, according to the board there. And
It's 3rd down, Aggie
Nathan
fans.
Leathhead,
3rd and 37 yards to go.
this is where he specializes. Number 59 specializes on being disruptive on 3rd
Man in
down.
motion. They'll fake the hand. It does hand it off to the running back. We've got another flag on the play. Bell there for the tackle. Out of 4 or 5 yard gain on the play. That's going to be holding on the offense. They're going to decline the penalty. That'll make it 4th down from the 42-yard line. So they're trying to force Langston to punt here on 4th and very long.
And let's see who they bring out at punter, because it looked like Jalen Lowe, who's their quarterback and also their punter, was shaken up. Well, he was shaken up on that last play.
Back to return for your Aggies, number 14, Nick Shields.
Only 7 Lions out there right now. They're still waiting for about half of their team to get out there.
Special punt formation. It's like the place kicker, Juan Carpio, is coming out to punt it here.
Langston lines up. Looks like the Aggies may be going for the block here. There's a snap, and he gets it off. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to bound at about the 40-yard line and bounces in Aggies' direction. It's going to be Aggies' ball outside of their own 40-yard line with 12:20 still to play in the 3rd quarter. Aggies trail the Langston Lions 27-0.
DJ Scott has got to do better at decision making this drive. He threw a very ill-advised pass his last time out on the field, and they cannot afford that right now. If they have any chance to get back in this game, it's got to be now.
Oh, Scott drops back to pass. He'll roll out to his left, gets one off. That's Hudson with it, still on his feet past the 50-yard line. Ball fumbled. It was near the sideline. They're going to say, one referee looks like he's saying it was out of bounds. They're discussing it though. And the question's going to be, did that ball touch out of bounds? Touch the out of bounds line or not?
You see the line judge here, he seems fairly certain and shaking his head like he didn't think it was out of bounds.
It was definitely a catch because he caught it, made a football move, is that term we've heard several times now over the last 5 years or so. And judging by the unhappiness of the Langston players, looks like they're going to say that ball touched out of bounds. So
Scott's pass complete, number 1.
that'll be an 8-yard gain on the play by Hudson. The Aggies have got to hold on to the ball. So second down, 2 yards to go.
That would have been their 6th turnover of the game, and that's not a winning formula.
Pistol, kind of a power pistol formation. 2 split to the wide side, 1 to the boundary side. Hand off to Baker up the middle. He barrels over 1 tackler, and he's brought down at about the 42-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
I believe that flag is going to be a neutral zone infraction.
No, they're calling it on the Aggies.
Really?
So what was a first down will be brought
I didn't see what the
back.
flag was
It's going to
for.
be second down and 7 yards to go
What'd they call it for?
for a false start.
Oh.
Scott takes the snap, drops back, lets it go towards the sideline, trying to get the ball to Nick West, but that one's going to be too wide, incomplete. So 3rd and 6 yards to go now for the Aggies.
And 3rd and 7. Not completely out of reach. If you're Scott, you got to look to one of your playmakers, but you got to give him an opportunity to get
Pistol
past the stakes.
formation. He'll drop back to pass. Gets it to Barbarino. He's got the first down as he's inside the 45-yard line down to the 43. So Aggie first down, just a nice crossing pattern there.
And let's see if they go back to the run here.
Hand it off to Baker, straight up the middle. He's inside the 40-yard line, about a 3 or 4 yard gain on the play.
Preston Baker.
That'll make it second down, 6 yards to go. Still 11 minutes left to play in this third quarter.
Cameron Taylor in motion.
He'll hand it off to Baker again to the right. He pushes forward.
Beautiful.
Past the
power run.
35-yard line. That's going to make it third down, but very short to go.
5-yard run by number 25.
Preston Baker
Baker.
is a hammer
And he's
from the halfback position.
asking to come out on a 3rd and 2 play.
Orlando Heyman's going to check in.
And Scott drops back to pass, lets it go out in the flat. It's caught. And up near the 20-yard line, that's going to be a first down.
That was close.
Pass to complete to number 86.
Brady Barrett on
Brady
the catch and run there.
And that's good for
Big
another
tight end.
Aggie first down.
Looks like they'll mark it about the 22-yard line quickly. Hand off to Heyman right up the middle. He busts through. It's an Aggie touchdown. From 22 yards out, straight up the middle, Heyman strikes pay dirt.
First points of the game for the Aggies, and they really needed something on this drive, and they got it. Cut into that deficit, make it a 21-point deficit.
Cesar Tellez for the kick. It's up and it is good. So the Aggies on the board with 10:03 left to play in the third quarter, still trailing the Langston Lions 27-7. kicking off for the Aggies. Number 5, Sterling Clappin.
And the good thing for the Aggies
For your Aggies, number
is
5,
the offense
Sterling
stayed out
Clapp.
there long enough to give the defense a rest. So let's see if they're able to do a little more defensively. Keep them from scoring any points here.
There's the deep kick. And that one through the end zone for the touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Lions.
Aggie defense headed out here, and they really, if you're going to have a chance, your offense has finally scored some points. The defense has got to keep them from getting any points right here, because really, you only have about 25 minutes left in this game.
They'll bring a man in motion across the formation. Fake the handoff, quick throw outside.
Flag out early.
Gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. There is a flag. It's going to be a false start penalty. So Langston's going to go backwards here.
That's absolutely what you love to see. That's absolutely how you want to start if you're the Panhandle State defense. And it looks like they're discussing it here. There we go. Now we get the signal for false start. That'll back them up, putting them in a hard situation here on 1st down. But putting the Aggies in a good situation.
So 1st and 15. From the 20-yard line.
And the key right now is you got to keep eyes on the quarterback. Jalen Lowe is back in, so you got to make sure you don't allow him to break containment or even run up through the middle like he has multiple times. He's really the big weapon that's been killing him today.
There's the snap. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. Lets it go down the sideline. He's got a receiver out there, and that was close as he missed him by about a yard or so.
Another flag on the play. Is that going to be on Langston again?
Ineligible man downfield. Aggies will decline that penalty. That'll make it 2nd down, 15 yards to go.
It seems like some of the pressure is starting to be felt on this Langston offense, you know. They've committed a couple of penalties here, and that's something Panhandle State was doing early on, but now if you can get a few of these penalties to go your way, puts the odds ever more in favor of an Aggie comeback.
There's the snap. They'll hand it off up the middle. Another flag on the play. Running back's going to be dropped for a loss. Let's see what the call is this time.
Seen plenty of yellow today, that's for sure.
Tackling for a loss on the play by number 15, Dejon Jeffrey.
It's probably an involuntary reaction at
It's
this point.
3rd down.
And they are
Aggie Nation.
waving off the flag now.
Let's hear
Dejon
it.
Jeffries on the tackle there.
Get rowdy.
3rd and very long to go.
Looks like 3rd and about 20. So, I don't know. I would assume they would run it and try to add yards onto the punt, but that doesn't look like what they're about to do.
Drops back to pass. He's a man open on the slant. Gets it to him up near the 25-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be punt time now for Langston.
4th and 10, and they'll keep Jalen Lowe out there to punt. Serves the dual role of quarterback and punter on this team. And if you have a quarterback who's also your punter, and if he's pretty good at both, then That would set you up in a nice position for some trick plays, but probably not something you want to try on 4th and 9.
Nick Shields out there to return the punt for the Aggies. Spread punt formation. There's the snap. Gets the kickoff. Gets a good one off, it looks like, too. That one's going to head out of bounds near the Aggie 45-yard line. So Panhandle takes back over possession. They scored on their last drive, but still trail with 8:33 left in the third quarter, 27-7. The Aggie offense out there. Scott in the pistol formation with Heyman in the backfield with him. He'll drop back to pass. And looks like he's going to take off now up past the midfield stripe. He's got a first down as he crosses the Langston 45-yard line. Oh, Aggie first down.
That's one of the many things you got to love about DJ Scott. He's really given the offense a spark since he came into the game, and that running ability provides even more of a spark when the pocket starts to break down.
They mark him right at the 45, hand it off to Heyman straight up the middle. He's going to get about 3 on the play, maybe 4. Looks like they'll give him forward progress to about the 41, so it'll be second down, 6 yards to go. We've got an injury timeout on the field. 8:04 to play in the third quarter. It's Langston 21, Panhandle 7. And able to get off the field on his own power, so we're ready for second down now.
Nagy's a big fan of this downhill run game, especially here against the Lions. And
Scott will drop back to pass, looks towards the sideline. He's got a man out there, but threw it just a bit wide on him. Trying to get the ball to Cameron Taylor. That's going to make it third down and about 6 yards to go.
Somebody has to go fetch that out of the Langston bus.
Big play for the Aggies here, trying to keep this drive alive. Scott drops back to pass. Looking over the middle, he's got it to Taylor at the 40, but he's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly. Good defense there by Langston. Guy made the catch on the crossing pattern, but they didn't let him get any more yards as he down right there where he caught it at the 39. So that's going to be fourth down.
And they're going
and
for
about 5 yards to go. Of course, trailing by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In the second half. Don't have much choice left. Trying to maybe draw them off. They'll look to the sideline for the play.
And I think they'll look towards Barbarino. He's converted a couple of third downs for him today. He's been a reliable target when they've thrown to him.
Big freshman pickup for the Aggies.
And
pass will fall incomplete. Did try to get it to Barbarino, but off his hands. So ball turned on over on downs. Back to Langston. 6:53 to play in the third quarter.
The Aggie defense has to hold up once again.
Man in motion. They'll hand it off to the running back. That play's going to be blown up.
He bumped into his own lineman. Bumped into number 72, Trevin Carson there.
I tell you what, that tackle there, that was made by number 88, I believe it was, out there for the Aggies. I don't see that listed, but that play was made by number 61, Zachary Perez-Clack. He absolutely blew up that offensive lineman for Langston, just pushed him back into the play. Running back had nowhere to go but backwards on his momentum. They'll head it off on a jet sweep to the wide side. And a big hit over there. That's Perez again with the big hit. As he's moving from sideline to sideline, Perez Clack.
And you can't ask for any better play from a defensive lineman now than what they're getting out of Clack.
Jabrell Alexander was the one I was referring to who made the tackle earlier. It's 3rd down and long.
The Aggies got to hold him here.
Now drop back to pass. Tried to run a screen, he dropped it. That's going to be an incomplete pass, so it's going to be 4th down and long.
4th and forever.
The Langston coach kind of going nuts over there and probably trying to get a call, but there was no late hit on that. He was just, he'd already came up to him, and the running back was coming forward like he was trying to run it out, even though he had dropped the ball. So if the running back's going to continue to run, you're gonna have to allow the defender to act like it's a live ball. So back deep now again. Nick Shields will return the punt once again for the Aggies. 5:29 left to play
Back to return the punt
in
for
the
your
3rd
number
quarter.
14, Nick Shields.
They'll adjust their play and bring 4 out wide. Kind of an interesting set. Maybe going for it here.
They are going for it.
No, it's going to be a rugby-style kick to that side.
Why?
Lost the ball. It's going to be scooped up. But that's a muff punt, so that's going to be 1st and 10 right there from about the 20 for Langston. And just no need to do that by Shields, as he could have just let that one fall dead after it had already rolled a ways there. That ball is an oblong shape. It's not round, and so it can take funny bounces when you go to grab it. So sometimes in those situations, it's just better to let it go.
And the defense has to be upset about that. Just got off the field, or, well, yeah. Just a bad situation there.
Looking out there right now, the most sick person about it is Nick Shields. As you can tell, he's pretty upset with himself that he messed up that one. So shotgun formation, drops back to pass. Plenty of time. He'll roll out to his left. Now back with the middle. He's going to be sacked.
And you know that defense has to be tired, but still just playing with such intensity right now here late in this 3rd quarter.
So 2nd down, 16 yards to go. Running back in motion out of the backfield. A lot of times they'll like to throw it the other way to the inside receiver out there.
Tries to extend a little bit, but doesn't really get anywhere.
Good defense there by Jawan Purifoy, making a good open field tackle there. It's still going to be 3rd and long, about 3rd and 13 to go. He made about 3 on that play.
And Langston is almost in field goal range, but they would be kicking against the wind here if the Aggies don't allow them to convert.
They'll line up 2 split to the wide side, 1 to the boundary side. 1 comes in motion across the formation. Dropping back to pass, looks over the middle. And that one, McCants was the closest player as his receiver kind of ran straight up the field, and it looked like he wanted him to run, cut it over across the middle. And it was Marcus McCants there instead that was closest to the play. It'll be 4th down now. We'll see if looks like Langston's going to bring out their kicker and attempt a field goal. This will be a 40-yarder as they'll hold right from the 30-yard line. Now they'll adjust. They may try to go for it here as their quarterback's their holder. Man in motion. There's a snap. He'll roll out to his right. He's under pressure. Leadhead ball thrown deep, and it's going to fall incomplete. So the Aggies will take over on downs. 3:46 to play In the third quarter, it's Langston 27, OPSU 7.
Looks like David Smith is shaking up on that play for the Aggies. Having a little trouble walking off here. That's Marcus McCants, and he's up now and coming back to the sideline, being carted back to the sideline by his teammates. Looks like he hurt himself trying to dive for the ball there.
Can't put any pressure on that right foot, so that's not a good situation there for McCants or the Aggies.
Yeah, McCants pretty much their top defensive back throughout this season, so if he's out for any significant length of time, that's going to be a significant loss.
Let's hear it for that young man.
So 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Scott will line up under center. Baker in the I formation. He'll try to run wide, and he's going to be dragged down for a loss on that play. Good penetration from the defensive line of Langston on that one.
And if you're the Aggies, if you're trying to come back in this game, you don't necessarily want to just rush things, but you got to start getting up tempo here.
Scott back in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass. Looks out wide and passes too far out in front of his H-back, number 18, Darrence James. That's going to make it 3rd and about 13 yards to go.
So 3rd and 13, not a lot of plays here, but see what they go to.
Scott will drop back to pass. He's under pressure, lets one go deep, and just past the outstretched fingertips of his receiver, Cameron Taylor. So it's going to be 4th down, and the Aggies are going to be forced to punt.
And I think if a little bit shorter, Taylor gets his hands on that, and that's a house call. But just a little bit long there, that's a huge disappointment for the Aggie offense.
Set to punt for your Panhandle State
Not a
Aggies,
good deal
number
for the
9.
Aggie defense as they're about to have to come back out here. Just barely got any rest.
There's a snap and the kick by Test. Good foot on that one. Look at that one, bound towards the end zone inside the 10-yard line. He's going to be brought down there. Just an excellent kick by Test, and quite a roll after it, and good coverage down there as well.
And the Langston returner didn't need to touch it. There was a better chance of it going into the end zone than him getting a good return off of it. So didn't need to touch it, but did, and that works out perfectly for the Aggies.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 6-yard line.
The Aggie defense, you know they have to be gassed right now, but they still trying hard to win this game here.
Man in motion across the formation. They'll run it back the other way. He's going to be stopped. Perez Clack there got a hold of his foot. Several other Aggies in there to push him on down. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go as no gain on the play.
And this is truly, I mean, this is something to watch here, you know. The Aggie defense has been out there a lot more than the offense, so they have to be tired, and yet they're still playing with just great intensity.
So it'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Man in motion, they'll hand it off the other way. Quarterback keeps it, though. He's going to be drilled as he lets it go. His receiver drops it, had it in his hands at the 30. That was a beautiful pass as he was under severe pressure from Nate Leadhead. Got it off and floated it to his receiver near the 30-yard line, and he just didn't hold on to it. So the Aggies catch a break on that one.
Right into his hands.
3rd down and 10.
Andrade's got to be upset with himself after that.
It's third down, Aggie fans.
So the Aggies force another 3rd and long
Let's
here.
get rowdy.
Just an excellent effort by
There's
the
a
defense.
snap. And they'll try a little shovel pass straight ahead. And the Aggies just ate that one up. Oh, it's going to be punt time.
Tackle on the play by number 58.
David Smith in on that
Smith.
tackle.
And things have not gone the Aggies' way today, but in this second half, a really strong effort from the defensive unit. If not for a couple of miscues on special teams, this might be a totally different game.
So Miguel Hudson will be back to return this punt, as they've decided to switch out Shields after he fumbled on that last time. There's a high kick. It's going to hit and bound towards the midfield stripe near the 45, and that's where they'll call it dead. So the Aggies will have another opportunity to try to cut this down to a 2-score game. There's 1:27 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's OPSU 7, Langston 27. So Scott in the shotgun, Heyman to his left. 2 splits to the wide side, 1 to the boundary side. They'll move to the pistol formation now. There's a snap, fakes the handoff. Trying to go deep on this one. He's going to have to scramble. He's just going to have to get rid of it out of bounds. Heyman with a key block on that one, or that might have been a sack.
Scott's pass incomplete.
Some busted play there, but I have to say that is one of the most beautiful play fakes I have seen by the Aggie offense all year.
Well, they wanted to go deep on that one, tried to get it to their big tight end Barrett. Tried to sneak him through on the seam route, but unable to do it. It looks like Heyman did a little shoulder damage on that block there, but he did a good job keeping his quarterback from getting sacked. Back to pass, lets it go towards the sideline. Caught but bobbled. That was Kinetic. Dropped it. That's going to be 3rd and 10.
And the reason they tried to go deep on 1st down, you know, as long as it doesn't get intercepted, there's not a whole lot of downside to it, but they know they need to score quickly with time running down in the 3rd quarter and a 20-point deficit.
Power pistol formation. Scott back to pass again. He's going to take off on a scramble. And he's not going to get much. It's going to be 4th down and about 8 yards to go. We'll see if the Aggies go for it here or punt once again. Under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter.
Scott.
And depending on where Cameron Taylor lines up, I firmly believe this ball will go to him. And with him out there on the far right side, I believe it'll either go to him or Hudson.
Scott in the shotgun, a back to each side. Play clock under 5 now. And the Aggies are going to have to call a timeout with 28 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It's Langston 27, OPSU 7.
At this time, we'd like to introduce to you our new Aggie mascot, No Man Dan. We held a naming contest and received lots of great votes from our students, and the students selected No Man Dan as the winning name. And we think it fits him great. What do you think? Let's give him a big round of applause, everyone. And let's see if we can get that classic No Man Dan roller coaster going.
So 4th and 8 for the Aggies. from the 43-yard line. Scott drops back to pass. Lets it go over the middle. He's got a receiver open.
And it's Taylor.
And it is Taylor, just as you said. He went to.
Number 13,
It's going to be a first down
and that's
at
good
the
for another
30-yard
Aggie.
line.
His
First
hands
down.
are so sure in those clutch situations. As let's see if they try to get another playoff here before the end of the third.
Did a great job on the play getting open as well. Hand off to James. He's up to the 35 and knocked out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. And that will be the end of the third quarter. So we head to the final stanza. The Aggies trail the Lions 27-7.
The Aggies will be against the wind here going into the fourth, but the good thing for that is field goal is not really an option anymore.
Scott will line up under center. Barbarino in motion. He'll fake the handoff, rolls out to his right, lets a pass go towards the sideline, and it's caught by Taylor.
Scott's pass complete to
Gets
number
his
13,
feet just in
Cameron
bounds.
Taylor. And that's good for another
That'll be enough for a first down for the Aggies. At about the 17-yard line.
Great day for an Aggie comeback.
Baker lined up in a deep I formation. Now look to the sideline for the play. Snap, handoff to Baker, avoids the first tackler, still on his feet. Through the defense, nice gain on first down. That's going to be close to a 10-yard gain, maybe a 9. As they'll mark him about a yard short of the first down. So second down, 1 yard to go. Aggies quickly to the line again.
And he's a power back. Makes beautiful
They'll
speed
turn,
kills.
hand it off to Baker to the right. There's a big hole. He's going to have the first down. And he's down near the 5-yard line. That's going to be first and goal for the Aggies.
Preston Baker, it's good for another Aggie.
And as
First
close as
down.
you are to the goal line, I'd keep leaning on him. He's been your power back most of the day here. Still got about 13 minutes left to really make a game of this thing. And looks like Heyman's going to check in instead.
Heyman into the game. Scott will drop back to pass. He's going to scramble and going to be brought down for no gain. So second and goal for the Aggies.
All right, let's see what the Aggies
Let's go,
go with
Aggies,
here. Do you
man.
want to try another power play? Do you want to try to get a pass off here as it's only second down? You got a couple more downs to work with. This is 4-down territory, definitely.
So Heyman lines up in the tailback position. They'll fake the handoff. Scott throws out towards the sideline, and it's knocked away at the last second.
Now you got to be careful here. Third down, close to the goal line. Don't want to make a mistake here. This is really your last chance to get back into it offensively.
Tried to get the ball to Hezekiah Foy, but that play was foiled by the defensive back for the Lions.
Crucial third down play here. And they'll be moved back. Remains second down.
There's a penalty on the Aggies. That's going to leave it at second down, but all the way back at the 8-yard line. Hand off to James up the middle. Nice gainer. He's
Very
near
close.
the goal line. They'll mark him just short.
The Aggies got a good power run game there and helping Darren's James up off the turf, but the power run game for the Aggies is going to be crucial right here close to the goal line. You don't want to let the clock tick off too many ticks, so you really want to get an up-tempo here.
So they'll line up in the I formation with Baker at fullback, Heyman at tailback. About 1.5 yards away from the end zone.
Play clock under 5. He needs to get this off.
There's a snap, handoff to Baker. He's into the end zone for the Aggie touchdown.
Beautiful. Makes it a 2-score game. Gives the Aggies a chance. Maybe not much, but there's a chance.
There's the extra point. It is good. So with 11:48 left to play in this one, the Aggies have made it a 2-score game, but still trail 27-14. So Sterling Clappin will set the ball on the tee for the Aggies.
For your Aggies, number 5, Sterling Clappin.
He'll handle the kickoff duties. Always the possibility of an onside here. I'm sure Langston is passed through their minds as well. Here's the approach, and the kick is deep. Well, it's going to fall short near the 20. Langston finally picked it up, but he's going to be knocked down right away at about the 23-yard line. So the Aggie defense charges back out onto the field one more time with the task of stopping the Lions' offense.
And the Aggie defense has played really well so far. And what's going to be key is that fairly long drive by the offense allowed the defense to get a lot of rest because for about 3 series in a row, they didn't hardly get any rest between times on the field. So now they do have some rest. We can expect them to play even better than they have been, and they've been playing great so far.
Go back to each side of the quarterback, man in motion. They'll hand it off to the boundary side. Still on his feet. That guy's tough to bring down, but he's not going to get anywhere. Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose 1 yard or so on that play. Just pretty much everybody on the defensive line and linebackers in the front 7 in on the tackle for the Aggies there. They shut that play down pretty well. Second down, 11 yards to go.
And it's saying something. That guy's about the size of a full-size pickup. I mean,
there's a handoff to the wide side this time, and he's going to be brought down. Good tackle there. Number 15, DeJohn Jeffrey with the tackle.
excellent open field tackle.
Knew that guy was a lot bigger than him, so he went low on the tackle near the knee and
up third down.
took him out. So it's going to be third down and right at 10 yards to go.
I hope the defensive back coaches have that on tape so they can use it as a clinic for every year.
And makes the handoff, tries to throw it out. Well covered, though.
And it looked like a little confusion because number 16, Dalen Person, it looked like he thought he was supposed to block that entire way.
Japhon Evans stepped in on that play to play cornerback and got the stop over here. So it's fourth down again, and A little bit of momentum building for the Aggies. Still trailing by 2 touchdowns. They're still going to have to get in the end zone a couple more times.
Aggies number 1, Mikael Hudson.
But that's exactly the series you want on defense.
They two weeks ago they rallied in Arizona for the come from behind win. Big booming kick. That one's going to hit at the 30 and just darts down the field inside the 10-yard line, and it'll roll dead near the 5-yard line.
So now the Aggie offense is faced with a tough task of driving about 90 yards.
10:09 still to play in this one. Aggies trailing 27-14.
All right, everyone here inside Anchor D Stadium, please listen as we
Now, one
announce the
score,
winner.
that makes all the difference because a 3-score game with 10 minutes left, almost insurmountable. A 2-score game, a lot more
The total
likely.
amount raised today was $240, which means the lucky person will take home $120 cash. The winning ticket belongs to Marcia
Aggie
A.
offense out on the field.
Congratulations, you may claim your prize up here at the press box.
They'll
Thank you to everyone
line
who
up
participated
trips to the
today.
boundary
Tickets are
side,
drawn.
one to the wide side. And hand it off to Baker, running to the wide side. Face mask looked like possibly there. He gets up to the 10-yard line, so 5-yard
Game
run on the
number
play.
25, Preston Baker.
Second down, 5 yards to go.
And that's once again the difference in the scores of the game. If it was still a 3-score deficit, you would almost have to abandon the run by this point. But
Scott will roll out to his left, hits his tight end. He's going to be drug out of bounds near the first down marker.
Scott's pass complete, number 81, Gerard.
Number 81, Gerard Thomas with the catch. It'll be third down and about a yard to go for the Aggies.
Taylor all the way out here on the far right.
Scott under center, hands it off to Baker. Baker's got the first down. He's up past the 20-yard line to the 21.
25, Preston Baker.
First down, Aggies. They have to
that's
help him
good
up
for
after
another
that one, though. He'll
Aggie.
head off.
First down.
Heyman will come in his place. Looks like number 77, Dominique Thomas, the offensive tackle for the Aggies, was a little bit shaken up as well, but he's going to tough it out and stay out on the field. So single back formation with a H-back in motion across. He'll head back. Fakes the handoff, drops back deep, lets the pass go towards the sideline. One to get the ball to Taylor, but Taylor slipped on the cut. And so the ball falls incomplete, so it'll be second down and 10.
And there's a little different element to having Heyman in here because now the defense has to respect the run as well as the pass to the running back because of Heyman's receiving ability.
I can't hear you.
You don't see a lot of passes go in the way of Preston Baker.
And in motion again. He'll turn, hand it off to Heyman. Straight up the middle. He'll curve it a little to the right. Gets past the 25-yard line up to the 26. It's still going to be third down, though, and about 6 yards to go.
Preston Baker.
The good news is it's always 4-down territory here, so. Still a couple downs to work with. You got third down. You don't have to pick all 7 up right here.
Pistol formation. Scott drops back to pass. He's going to take off on the run. Falls forward to about the 30-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down, but he's only going to be about 1.5 yards short of it. So, big decision here for the Aggies.
A little bit of a missed read as Kinetic was wide open.
Just under 8 minutes still to play in this one. And looks like the Aggies offense will stay on the field, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Trying to draw them off sides here before they actually get the play in.
And the Aggies have to call a timeout because the play clock was just about to run out on them, and they didn't want that 4th and 2 to turn into a 4th and 7. So we'll have a timeout on the field with 7:22 to play. It's Langston 27, OPSU 14. So here we go, 4th and 2 from the 30-yard line.
Baker back in.
Huge play for the Aggies right here. Scott takes a snap, hands it off to Baker, running to the wide side. He's going to have to get to that edge. He does get the first down, still on his feet, and brought down near the 40-yard line. It's an Aggie first down.
6-yard run, number 25.
Baker
Preston
coming
Baker.
back just in time
And
to
that's good for another Aggie.
pick up those short
first
yards
down.
they needed.
Baker's still on the ground, so we'll take an injury timeout. 7:14 to play. Langston leads Panhandle 27-14. Oh, Baker up on his feet and looks like he'll be able to walk off the field under his own power. It looked like he's feeling 100% though, that's for sure.
And getting a little guidance from the trainer there. And I don't blame him. He's had to work quite a bit in this game.
So clock starts back up. Pistol formation. And offsides, it looks like. We'll see. Yeah, it is. Offside's going to be on Langston, so that's going to give the Aggies a free 5 yards.
And this is what you need right now. Need a little luck. Need for them to commit a couple of penalties. Solid play on offense, and that's how you're going to get back into this game if you're going to get back into
So
this
ball
game.
marked just short of the 45-yard line. Scott drops back to pass. Out in the flat, hits Heyman. He's up past midfield to the 45. And
Scott's
gets a
pass
tough
complete to
couple of
number
yards
22,
after that, up to about
Orlando
the
Heyman.
42-yard
And
line.
that's good for another Aggie.
1st and 10 for
First
the
down.
Aggies.
And that's a good play by Heyman. He would have had the first down even if he hadn't cut. He would have just lowered his shoulder. But he got about 5 yards past it by making that beautiful cut there.
So they'll turn, hand it to Heyman this time to the right. He's going to have to avoid tacklers. He'll get about a yard on the play as they'll mark him just shy of the 40-yard line at the 41. So 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Clock nearing the 6-minute mark. Aggies still needing 2 touchdowns. But because of the blocked extra point, if they were able to get that, they make both of theirs, they could take the lead. Scott drops back to pass. Now he's going to scramble. Tries to cut it outside, gets a block from Heyman, and he'll step out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
And that's a 7-yard run by number
And
2.
That's a good run by Scott, but he has to see Kinetic. Like, he has to go through his reads because Kinetic is coming across the field wide open. Earlier, he had him short wide open, but
3rd and 2. There's a snap. Handoff to Ogman up the middle. I think he's gonna get the first down because he got to the 30-yard line, it looked. Yeah, that's where they'll mark his forward progress. So that's gonna be another Aggie first down.
a good job for the Aggies here. Keeping that offense going. It's late in this game. You know the skill position players are tired. You know the line's tired.
Scott rolls out to his left and leaves that pass just a little bit short. Trying to get the ball to Hudson. Hudson was open,
Number 1, Miguel
but the
Hudson.
pass was just a little bit short. So 2nd down, 10 yards to go. And we've got an official's timeout on the field. 5:27 on the clock.
The Number 65, Perez, comes out of the game. And it looked like number 73, Diego Arenas, comes in for him.
Taylor in motion. He'll line up in the slot position. Scott back to pass. He's got Barbarino open over the middle, and he hits him. He'll be down near the 10-yard line. No, they'll say it was dropped. The hit looked like it jarred the ball loose when he came to the ground. Looked like he took it, held on to it through the hit, but then when he had that extra hit and hit the ground, it came out there. So you kind of chalk that one up to good defense there. That's a tough one to hold on. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Aggies. They'll line up pistol formation. Augment in the tailback position behind Scott.
I'd look for him to go the same way again.
Scott drops back to pass, throws towards the sideline. He's got West over there. He's going to have enough for a first down just inside the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Aggies again.
Nick West. Good for another Aggie. First down.
Just over 5 minutes left to play in this one.
And it's good for the Aggies to have these sure-handed receivers on the outside because that makes it a lot more likely to convert these 3rd downs.
Scott drops back to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Had a 3-yard loss on the play as he was able to step up and get a little bit of that yardage back. They'll call it 2nd down, 14 yards to go from the 24.
And that's 2 or 3 consecutive plays that Brady Barrett has gone from his position straight down into the end zone looking to be a deep threat there.
Scott drops back to pass again. Lets it go. And that one was, he's lucky that one wasn't intercepted as that was tipped away by the defenders trying to get the ball to Taylor, but really trying to squeeze it into too small of a window as they had defenders crossing from both sides there to stop that play. And luckily we didn't have our 6th turnover of the game.
That's a bad read there. An interception there would have most likely ended the game or ended any chances the Aggies had for a comeback.
So 3rd and long. Scott back to pass again. He's going to have to avoid the tackle, and he can't. He's going to be sacked, so it's going to be 4th and about 16 yards to go. Make that about 16 yards to go for the Aggies as he's brought down at about the 26-yard line. Clock rolling down near the 4-minute mark now.
And the Aggies have to keep this drive alive because if you give the ball back, it just be too easy for the Lions to run out the game. Barbarino lined up way on the outside here.
So Scott lined up under center. He'll turn, fake the handoff to Heyman, looking to the sideline, and it's just too high. Barbarino tried to get to it, but just couldn't quite reach it, so ball turned back over on downs to the Lions with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in this one. Aggies now just can't get a stop. This is the time of the game they're going to have to get a turnover. Some sort of a big play to somehow stay in this one.
And you can't imagine that Langston will take any chances with the football. Up 2 scores, 3 minutes left. I would be surprised if they pass it.
They'll turn, hand off to the running back up the middle. He's going to be still on his feet. Breaks free from the tackle. He's going to get some yards. And somehow the referee says that he stayed in bounds there. I don't know how, because he's made the signal that the clock would keep going, even though players on the Langston sideline had to move to get out of his way. I don't know how that can be in bounds. So 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Aggies should have had him for a loss on that one anyway. There's a snap, fakes a handoff, quarterback keeper out wide to the right. He'll get the first down and just slide. and keep that clock rolling.
Looks like somebody's having a little trouble getting up over there for the Aggies.
They've got another injury timeout on the field. 2:49 left to play. Langston leads Panhandle 27-14. That's Dominic Bell who's coming off the field. Good to see he can come out under his own power. He's one of the main cogs in the Aggies defense. We've got a pre-snap flag. And it's going to be on the Aggies. Unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to be a 15-yarder.
Can't do that.
Gaskamp looks sort of confused by that one. Looked like it was probably on one of his bench players. Looks like it might be on McCants. Of course, McCants. They've had to walk him around and counsel him a little bit today. He's been upset most of the game, so looks like he cost his teammates another 15 yards right there. The ball moves into Aggie territory up to the 47-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle. Ball loose. And the Aggies come away with it. That was the play they needed to give them an opportunity, was a turnover.
And so their first turnover comes with 2:17 left in the ball game, right when they needed it most.
Fumble recovered on the play by number 61, Zachary Perez Clark.
And who else could it be but probably the defensive star of the day, number 61, Zach Clack. He's just been all over the place today, making tackles out wide, plugging up the middle from his nose tackle position. Pistol formation, Heyman outside. They'll throw it to him up to the 50 and to the Langston 48-yard line. So a good gain on first down of about 8 yards.
Gotta hurry to the line now. That clock's rolling. It's rolling under 2 minutes now.
Second down, 2 yards to go. Heyman again in motion outside. They'll hand it off to James up the middle. He's got the first down. They'll finally blow that play dead as he'll be down at the 44-yard line. They'll move the chains so the Aggies have a few moments before the clock starts back up. And Scott downs it to stop the clock with 1:45 left to play.
First down or no first down, I do not agree with the decision to run it there. That just wastes too much time when you don't have the luxury of time to waste.
So second down and 10 for the Aggies. And of course, at this point, all the Aggies are looking for is a chance and a win. Get a score here, even if it's with just a little bit left. Give yourself a chance at an onside kick and a Hail Mary, if nothing else. Pistol formation. Scott drops back to pass. Out to James on the flat.
Get out of bounds.
And they'll say he stayed in bounds at about the 40-yard line, so that's going to keep the clock rolling. Only a 3-yard gain on the play. Minute and a half left to play. Getting the play call from the sideline.
Got to start sending men deep. I would assume Taylor is going mid to deep on this route.
Scott drops back, throws it out to James in the flat again. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down.
And Taylor was wide open, but Scott did not look his direction.
So third down and about 2 yards to go.
Fourth down.
Clock now at a minute to play. It is fourth down for the Aggies. Well, this could be it. They've got to convert here. Hand off to James. He runs wide. He's got the first down. And he didn't get out of bounds, though. He's really kind of messed up on a couple of runs, not stepping out of bounds.
Run by Terrence James
when he was so close to the sideline. So first down for the Aggies. Clock is stopped right now at 43 seconds, now rolling. Scott fakes.
Whoa, no!
And the referee flat blew that. Looked like Scott was going to just immediately spike it to stop the clock, but he faked it and wanted to go deep to Taylor. Referee blew the whistle, and now the Aggies are going to go back 15 yards for a personal foul penalty because his players came out on the field along the sidelines. So discipline is an issue here as penalties have continued to plague the Aggies. Several personal foul penalties.
The Aggie fans recognizing it's a bit of a miscue there.
So 40 seconds on the clock. They don't mark anything off. They went ahead and gave the Aggies the benefit of the doubt there. Snap, fakes the handoff. Might be sacked. He's going to be sacked. So Aggies are going to have to call a timeout now. 31 seconds left on the clock, still trailing 27-14.
For sponsoring today's game, and a special thanks to Anchor D Bank for their generous support of Panhandle State University and Aggie Athletics. Let's give a round of applause for today's game sponsors.
So they've adjusted the clock. 34 seconds left to play. Aggies with a second down and 15 yards to go from their own 28-yard line. Scott drops back to pass again. He's got pressure. He's going to have to scramble and has to just throw it out of bounds to avoid the sack. Did a good job just to get rid of it as a defensive player just had a hold of him, and he just had to fling it out there as well as he could.
And if you're the Aggies, it's pretty much Hail Mary time now. So clock adjustment there.
Another clock adjustment. They'll get it down to 30 seconds. Scott drops back to pass once again. Lets it go towards the sideline. He's got Hudson over there with the catch.
Get out of bounds.
He's near the 15-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Aggies. 22 seconds left to play on the clock.
Good for another Aggie.
They gotta
first
hurry
down.
up. So I don't think he got out of bounds, so as soon as they get the ball set.
All right, let's hear you, Aggie fans. Show him some love.
I guess he did get out of bounds and not running the clock here.
The clock is stopped. They did say he got out of bounds on that one. Scott back to pass again. He'll have to scramble. He's going to be dragged down inside the 10-yard line.
Gotta hustle the line.
10 seconds still on the clock. They'll stop it for an injury. Clock says 8.4. Of course, these kind of situations, some of the time they've adjusted. Looks like DJ Scott is the one hurt down there, so they're going to have to get Ramon back out there, who was the starting quarterback, was taken out after he had a couple of interceptions in the first half. Like you said earlier, Aggie's just looking for an opportunity. If they can just get a score and get a chance at an onside, and if they get that,
A little bit of a stretch.
and that'll
That'll end the game.
That was the injury play where there's 10 seconds that run off, so that will be the final play of the game. So the Aggies fall to the Langston Lions 27-14 and fall to 5-3. Stick around, we'll interview Coach Gaskamp in just a few moments.
Goodwell Police Department for providing security, EMS crew of Goodwell, and all of the fans who came out to support the Aggies tonight. We wish our visiting guests safe travels home. Let's hear it one more time for your Panhandle State Aggies.
Well, we're here with Coach Gaskamp. Of course, it was a turnovers, penalties.
Yeah,
definitely a
just
problem
absolutely
today.
killed us. We've done it all year. You know, sometimes it gets to a point that, you know, when you're talking about it, it becomes negative reinforcement. We obviously haven't taken the right approach as a staff, you know, to fix the problem in that regard. We didn't play well offensively. I thought our defense played well enough. We got off to kind of a slow start, stopping the run a little bit, but they played well enough in the second half for us to win. But we just repeatedly keep turning the ball over. You're not going to win games that way. It's that simple.
It did seem like late in the game your team began to rally, started to clean things up, still had some of those penalties that were costly there, but
yeah,
it did seem to...
we did a few things, but to be honest with you, even when we were moving the ball, we were making so many mistakes that, you know, it is frustrating. It's hard to understand. We kept a pretty simple game plan in place. We tried to simplify. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and figure out what's going on. This is more talent than we've had on the offense side of the ball, but we're not clicking. We got to evaluate all the parts, you know, including the coaching staff and me, and what we're doing from a personnel standpoint, and have to make some tough decisions, but we got to play better.
Well, where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, all you do is get up tomorrow and go to work. You know, we'll have to try to shake this one out of our system. And, you know, this is one of those that we can't have the hangover on, because we still have a couple of important games here at the end. You know, an opportunity to go 7-3, have a winning season is a big deal. We got a long road trip next week, so you know, if we sit around and pout about it and don't travel well, we won't finish the season out the way we want to. And so, but I mean, you know, look, we're all adults, and this is an adults game. You can't sit around and pout about it. You got to go out there and play, and we'll have to bounce back quick.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Good luck next week on the road.
Thank you, appreciate it.